Hello, this is Dr. Wendy Rowley and the YouTube series for the Wonder of Human Design that is titled How to Engage with Your Spiritual Guides. And this is the fourth episode, and it is called What Can We Do Now to Work with Our Spiritual Guides? And if you saw episode 3, Aliene was keeping this as a surprise for both of us. I have no idea on this one. So in this one, I'm going to get out of the way because as we're learning, the paradigm is changing, and I actually would like to know how to work with my spiritual guides now in this new energy path. Okay, here we go. Or in this new evolving pathway that she said changed at the December solstice for the Guide of Soul Healing System. Something that becomes active for all of us about 500 years from now, but what can we do with this now? If this change happened to December solstice 2026 for this Guide of Soul system, what can we do with it now? Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light. This is Alienia of Cosmic Service. I am a Palladian Mother of Sound. Peace be with you, peace be with you, and peace be with you. All right, so what can we do with our spiritual guides now? You can do a lot. As we said, you're between one system and a new system, but the new system is in place and the old system is still there. So that's called an interim space. And it's where you're between things. And there's a little bit of one and a little bit of the old, a little bit of the new, a little bit of the old. And you move through an interim space whenever you're changing over to a new system, which means you will be in an interim space for quite a while until this Guide of Soul system is the new one and the old one gets taken off in about 500 years. So this information actually is good for quite a long period of time. In the new energy, in the great shift, what can you do with your spiritual guides? The first thing we would like to do is do an enhancement so that you may do what we're about to say. Now, when you do energy work, it's up to you if you want it. We just come and make an offering, we do the energy work, and if you want it, you just intend to have it. For some people, it's a little bit too much of a stretch. They're not ready. For some of you, you're like, yeah, give it to me. And for some of you, you're like, I'll try it and let's see what it's like. But for some of you, it's scary. And you're in charge. You actually create your spiritual experiences, and it's up to you. So this is just an offering. If you want it, it's there. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a sound activation to bring you to a channel in the new energy for the new spirit guide ability. And what does that mean? That means that you will have a spirit guide who is working with a higher creational being and the archangelic system at the noosphere. Now, this doesn't mean that your spirit guide is unevolved, because the system is evolved. The individuals within the system don't have to be as evolved. So this is an interesting thought, that there are systems of energetics through your spirit body that you all have at the group level that get shifted, upgraded, and changed that eventually percolate down into your individual spirit bodies over the course of evolution. And this idea often isn't discussed. So what this is an activation that has the interim doorway to be able to work with not the old spirit guide system, but with the new. So it's kind of like saying, this is a connection that everyone gets in 500 years, or will have within their interdimensional DNA for their evolution. So should you want this connection now, you can have it, because it was all done and put in place in the December solstice 2026 up in the noosphere. And we have said the divine feminine Christ healing force that's coming in and coming into this death bardo to change this paradigm to benevolence is already in that blue-green healing layer. And it's fully online into your spirit bodies and auras in 2027. Not very far away now. But it's at the interface of that group and individual higher self. And that activation happens right there. And that activation allows you to hear the guides of soul with the higher creational being, because if you've been a guide of soul, you have that extra loop in your spiritual senses to hear your soul. So what this is it's an activation to hear the guides of soul so that you may get information to help you. This is a new add-on to the guide system. The guides would share information, and the old paradigm was you would give them, you'd make an agreement with them to work together, and in that agreement you would say, and you have to answer anything that I ask you. Well, now that system is upgraded with a higher creational being, so that information that that guide can provide is deeper. And it's not just at the guide's level, it's at the higher soul level. So in other words, this one only heard flat things from the guides. Well, I have a past incarnation where I did this, and my healing project right now is to heal through this, and we have a match with this. If she couldn't figure out the match, sometimes she'd say, well, what is your match? I can see this. What's yours? Just to validate what her match was with them. And that's all they could tell her. And sometimes they'd say, well, we can see you could do a little benefit by having a healing in this particular aspect of your energy field. And that's all she got. Occasionally, she had a couple guides tell her to make a connection. That's because she's already had a connection that she didn't know for the higher creational beings into the soul, into the guides of soul system. And that's when that started to happen for her. And so it's a different level of information. So now, if she were to work with a guide of soul, and she starts to ask that guide of soul things, that guide of soul is going to start providing higher information, deeper information, clearer information. It's different. So for those of you who hear your guides, this is like a graduate program. It's like they've left high school and they're entering the graduate level to get a doctorate. You can think of it that way. It's not a corrupted pathway. It is unable to be corrupted, and it's simply the system. It's simply connected into the Gaia system. And that's what we have to say about that. So that's our explanation on this. We're going to do this first, and then we're going to come back and we're going to speak a little bit more about what you can do and actually get into detail. But you need this in order to do it. Okay, here we go. This is sound, beautiful melodic sounds. Your soul's coming into the fibers, doing its thing. Brr, brr, brr. Your soul engine is doing the activation for you. And it's just simply pure intention. Okay, here we go. All right, dearest beings of light, that concludes that. This one was watching that this is actually in the resonance layer of the field. Okay, you can think of it as frequency, resonance, harmonics, and octaves. So there's a lot of resonance, a lot going on in this resonance layer right now. So that's where that was. So what can you do with this new alignment? Sorry we pulled you out fast, but we did on purpose, kind of shock you back. Because if you're not used to working with your spiritual nature, you can get very spacey. And you can sort of feel like, I don't know if I'm hearing this, I'm floating. It's because you've never been in that particular consciousness place with your soul. And the more you go to a certain place, you bring your soul's forces in, you're saying to your soul, I want awareness in this level of my spiritual anatomy. And that's basically what healing it is. I'm moving out energy that's not mine, or a stuck energy that is mine that was a lie, like I'm not divine. And your soul brings in a new flavor, a new force. And so it's very similar with this guide healing paradigm. We just took out an old system, and your soul's bringing in new information and new things for you. So you can do 3 things with this new activation and the new guide of soul system that got put in place in the noosphere down to the blue-green healing layer for going forward to the benevolent feeling system that we've been speaking about in a lot of our work. This has 3 aspects because of the 3 consciousness balls, which it'll make sense if you listen to the beginning of the series up till now. When you come into the planet, you plug into Gaia, the Christ healing consciousness and force for your healing abilities, for your body and your spirit, and divine intelligence to the creative source, your connection to Creator that you feel in your heart. And that has 3 aspects in the new energy for the guides of soul. You can ask the guide of soul to come and let you feel divine spiritual Mother Earth. No longer just the earth level, but the spirit level of Mother Earth. You can ask the guide of soul to let you come in and sustain you and uplift you and let you feel the higher level, the higher creational level of God, of the Christ healing force. And may I have the higher creational feeling spiritual level in my being of feeling the divine intelligence of the Creator in me, in my heart, in my soul. I need help, I need support, I need succor and rest. Bring me the higher vibrations of the new energy. Bring me that which stabilizes the resonance layer energy in my being. And you can do that. That's one thing. You're now going to feel a higher level of your guides for a stabilizing force, more in the heart field. 2, dear guide of soul, I cannot handle this energy I'm in right now. I feel overwhelmed. I don't want to go back into old habits of how I used to handle my disharmonies. Maybe I used to overeat. Maybe I used to overexercise. Maybe I used to get really nervous and smoke too many cigarettes. Whatever it is, I don't want to go back into my old pattern when I get disharmony. I want something new. I want a new way of experiencing and moving through my disharmony. Please give me an upliftment and take this energy off of me and bring in a new way of experiencing. Different, really different, right? And bring it into the appropriate consciousness that I need it in, or all of them. In other words, an open menu. I need help. Help me wherever it's appropriate. I ask that be in alignment for my greater good and the divine intelligence for help. So for feeling more higher connection to the Creator in the creational level and stabilizing resonance energies within you that reverberate back and forth between people, because many people are feeling more sensitive now with the changes going on at the periphery of the noosphere as they come down closer and closer. That's why so many people are acting out. We got to revolutionize. We got to change everything. Or you can choose peace and healing. It's got to be a balance on the earth. It's not a criticism. It's just this is the way the system is. And so and then the next thing is I need help. You're going to just sort of lift this off of me wherever it needs to be. And the third thing is exactly the 3 things she brought up. And she's just going, wow, I can't believe they popped out like that. When you're having problems with a particular person, imagine you're seeing them in pink and ask the guide of soul to come in stronger in the pathway where you need help with this yourself. New. You are acknowledging that you are part of this disharmony with this person. And that changes a lot more than just saying, I need help with this person. Because you are calling at a higher creational level of your soul and saying, I realize I'm part of the problem. Now, we want to explain something we've said before, and this one has looked at a lot. If the person, so our interdimensional DNA resonates out our aura, karmic akash, and it's a little working karma that we're working on, and it reverberates through interdimensional DNA 1, 2, or 3. And it resonates out, and then we feel it between people. And that resonance is often what we still feel even after something's healed. So that's why you've got the first two things. I might have healed it, I don't know. So when you have a disharmony with someone and it comes out of those fibers of the interdimensional DNA and it starts to go out, it's something she started to say in the first video. What you perceive outside of you comes into your sensing and an awareness apparatus of the soul, and it gets transferred and flipped around with all of your own karma and your working higher self and your soul, and it flips it back down so that what you see outside of you is actually what you need to heal. It's a truth. And what you feel is, so that's the way the system is actually designed. So what you see outside of you is what is within you. The mirror complex is truth. So you have now said, I'm gonna fix my, I need upliftment. I need to stabilize my resonance, and I need to see what part is mine. So those fibers, if that energy is only on the top level going out, that's usually where people are kind of like, it's their fault. They did it. And they're unable to see their part. And if they're there, they're not going to be here listening to this tape. When the harmony gets to the edge of the aura and starts to flip back around, they start being able to say, maybe I've got something to do with this. Maybe I need to examine my behavior and words. And then when it starts to come back to the interdimensional DNA on the lower fiber, at that point, someone's like, I definitely am a part of this. It takes two people to create a disharmony. What's my role? So these three things that you can do are actually like the three consciousnesses balls in an asking for the Creator. What can I do to uplift myself beyond this disharmony? Because you have to raise your energy to heal. You can't be at the same frequency as the disharmony. What can I do to stabilize my resonance so I don't feel this disharmony and I have a little bit more space to figure out what it is? Maybe, do I have a role in it? Is that actually something within me that I have? And the third thing is, and that would be the Christ healing spirit body. Okay, so sorry, we went off tangent here because this one's thinking this through. Let's just get her out of the way. So we have the first one is Gaia. The second one is the Christ healing spirit body. What part could actually be mine that we have co-created together? And the third one, they're asking for that higher information, for that pink, for that change, for that benevolence, and saying, yeah, I've got a part in this and let's do this. That is divine intelligence, and you're aligning to divine intelligence for the healing, for the greater good of all. So all this is, it's a higher level paradigm in the creational level for the three things that you must do with your spiritual nature to heal and release. You must be certain of your spiritual nature, Gaia. You must be neutral, the Christ healing force. You must be joyful. Divine intelligence, the Creator only creates in joy. So everything that we have been teaching and this one has learned all comes into a paradigm of creation. It's all the same stuff, just different words people are using on the web, and we're just explaining it in a different way. So in this new alignment, you now can feel the higher heart level of the guides of soul and get a little more succor, help, and support when you ask to work with your guides of soul. And that's what you can do in the new energy to work with your guides of soul now going forward. You have a higher connection should you have taken this activation. Peace be with you. You are dearly loved. Expect benevolence in all you do, and we bid you adieu. This is Dr. Wendy Rowley, and I will take that. I will take that, and I can't wait to play with this. So I find what I learn with my spiritual nature is by playing and having fun with it, but also realizing it's my responsibility, what goes into it and what comes out of it, and what I project to people. I'm responsible for my own feelings and my own emotions. And no one else is responsible, or it's their fault if they aren't making me feel right. I just have to look within and find out, why does that make me feel bad? Okay, that's the healer's journey. Peace be with you, and I'll see you in the next episode.